Hello, everyone. I am back again with you to follow up on the video that I recently did about um, the, how should I say it? The experience that I had the other day with the Pisces update, right? For 2019 first quarter for Pisces. It was brought to my attention and was asked if I can clarify a bit, how do I come about this interpretation of this logic, and how do you walk into the situations dealing with aspects with knowing what to do beforehand, in contrast to being a responder or a reactor to the actual phenomenon that's taking place through the planets manifesting through people, which is a great question if you ask me. I think it's worthy of a follow-up. So you remember in the Pisces update video when I said that if I wanted to insert a specific part into it, but I was like, if I add this on right now, it's going to take away from the message, right? It's going to dilute the message. So this is the part that I'm going to speak about right now. So it was relative to the moment when I was speaking to the dude who was thought to be the boss of this office, of this business, right? To the point where he wouldn't make eye contact with me. This made me kind of furious, and at the same time, it told me something. So first, let me get back to the aspect so I can explain this better. Now, mind you, I'm going to add a celebrity dream into this so I can clarify even more on a deeper level what this means or how I do this, right? So the specific aspect that I want to talk about first is the money being where, the money meaning Venus and Jupiter being where it is and where it was inside of the sign of Sagittarius, which is in our Pisces 10th house, and Mars being inside of our second house. Now, mind you, for Pisces, I mentioned this before, Aries is our second house. So we are personally attached to leadership qualities. You understand what I'm talking about? So if Mars is there, the ruler of Aries, you got to understand my being so adamant about approaching things that are supposed to fall into my lap easily with luck, right? So here's all this money sitting in a trine sign for me, and I'm addressing something that is relative to money. Like I said, the money planets are there, so there's really no excuse. The universe tells you right off the bat that there's no excuse to where there's a potential to make money why someone would renege. Now, if this occurs, there can be other planetary placements that impact this or affect this, or it can just be the human condition to say, you know what, I want to get over, or I want to basically this. This is what humans are capable of doing. This is why I'm a supporter of AI. Of course, we'll have to get into something about that much deeper later, but this is what I'm talking about. And the reason why I say that is because a tug of war for vitality should not be the case. As I mentioned in the Pisces update, there's enough money to circulate and go around for everyone to eat and base it on a value that is substantial, right? So if I'm telling you, if we're agreeing, the whole market agrees on the potential value, at least a range for what this product or this merchandise is worth, you should oblige to that. You shouldn't renege on that when the time comes to actually do it. Now, if you do so, if a person does this, then that means they're kind of trying you. And without saying it, but if we leave it in just general terms, it means that the vitality, which is the sun, the source of this, is trying to be weakened, is trying to be deteriorated. And in my case, for me, losing value at the first offer to that extent, I was just not going for it. Because I know my source of value, my vitality, and what it needs for survival things and this, that, and the third. Because in this world, we are just not allocated the things that we need and what we want. We have to be aware and correspond and correlate all of these messages with each other. We need each other, people, in order to sustain our vitality, which is a sun characteristic, right? So no matter what, even though the money planets are there, and my Mars is there, your Mars is just your solar energy, your vitality being activated. See, I could sit right here and express to you my sun like I am right now through the screen. However, when I take action with the Mars, I could even press the keyboard and that would be an action. But some things call for other measures to where you actually have to go out and move, right? So this is one of those events, and I was being shortchanged on the vitality, on the source of what makes everything else, mesh together well, right? Because you should get what you're worth, or at least some type of range, a more plausible range than the first offer that I got. So this is what ticked inside of me to let me know, okay, this dude is trying to take from the vitality, right? Now, there's also a flip side to this, that in all actuality, there may be some type of inflation occurring in the world to where these things that I'm talking about that we're exchanging with each other are not even as much value as people put on them. That's a potential case, and I'm not even going to deny that. However, when you search the market, and when you market that this is what you do this for, and you have price ranges and stuff like that, you must oblige to that, or you're doing bad business. So this is another reason why I was frustrated. Now, let me get to the intricate part. And that is walking in the door, you see, because I know the aspects. The first thing that I realized is that this person would not give eye contact with me. Had he had given eye contact with me, I guarantee you he would have risen his offer. The reason why he did not lock eyes with me is because he had his mindset that, like, listen, I'm going to fight him tooth and nail to devalue this product as much as I possibly can until I win. All right? Now, he didn't win because I kept going. I know what I'm worth. I know what this is worth. And I know what I came to do as well. I came in the door with this. Now, you see, the reason why I didn't respond or react, I knew exactly what was happening, is because I know where the planets are. Right? So now, look. If he would have looked me in my eye, again, I'm telling you this, that offer would have went up, because he would have been looking directly at the truth in its eyes. You cannot deny this obligation that you have. It just doesn't work that way. And it's something that we call something that I coined, the left hand salute. All right. So for those of you who read The Mystical Adventures of Dickie Buns, you've seen scenes in the book where I've used this inside of the dream world. All right. In order to gain entry to certain types of information, there's like a tick inside of the left eye. All right. That gives you passageway into obtaining a certain level of information. Now, if this individual would have locked the left eyes with me, it would have automatically clicked in. He'd have knew what he had to do. Now, see, the left eye for males is opposite the sun. It actually represents the moon. It helps you see in the dark. I mean that metaphorically as well, you know what I mean? But definitely this is why I relate it to dreams a lot, because when you're dreaming, it's dark, it's gloomy. Some people don't even really realize that they're dreaming sometimes, or they can't really fully awake, or they can't fully remember the dream when they get up. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like a murky place to be. Most people don't have 20/20 vision when they're in their dreams either, right? So here I am entering this, and mind you, the moon was in Pisces at this time. So I can see all types of murky things in the dark. It's the deepest, darkest sign in the zodiac. So I'm looking forward to locking eyes with this dude so we can get on with it already, right? It's not happening. It's not occurring. So now he's messing with my vitality. You know what I mean? So let's not forget, although the moon and the sun are opposite, each one co-signs the other. You understand what I'm saying? So it just wasn't good on his behalf. Now, mind you, the moon was also sextile the sun during this time. So it's like, dude, you were really if we were to cast lots right now, like, dude, you were really in trouble right now. That's why I told his man, like, yo, he's not doing his job. He's trying to get hurt because he knows what we're supposed to be doing here. You understand what I'm saying? So when he called his man, right? And this is, I don't know, which video did I just talk about this? I just did a recent video not too long ago, too. I think that might have been in the Secret Houses podcast, though. An Aquarius Age video, when I spoke about people making fun of the moon with fiat cash. And what I mean by that is, sometimes when you hold your money or your resources in your hand, you can become very frivolous with it. You can be uncaring and you can be irresponsible with it. It's like holding your brain sprinkled inside of your pockets and you pull it out, and people are holding it up to their ears as phones and putting it on their shoulders and their arms, and whatever floats your boat, that's what you do. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm not saying it's right. What I'm saying, it's a mockery at the moon, because it's like a currency of the moon to have fiat currency. Because when your emotion, like, the moon represents memory and represents the mind, right? So if you are used to going to a club every Friday, every Saturday, right? Could be a strip club or something like that. That means that you're used to going to the bar. You're used to pulling out wads of money, because that amplifies the attraction levels when you're inside of that bar. These are things that take place at night, right? Usually. You're used to making it rain or whatever the case. I'm just using this as an example. This is not to target people who participate in this behavior either. But I've seen it in daytime. I've seen it from different types of cultures or different types of people and everything. They want to keep a wad of money in them, even in their little thin money clips. They want to keep all $100 bills and stuff. I see it all the time. Right? So what happens here, though, is the more you get away from any type of rigidness when it comes to your wealth, then you are letting your vitality run loosely. Okay, now don't get me wrong. Part of the vitality of the sun is to have fun, leisure time and stuff, right? But you don't always have to spend money to do these types of things. And influence has a lot to do with that. How much are you influenced to be in the club every Friday and Saturday? Because it's a repetitive thing, right? It's the moon, it's the memory. The more you crave to repeat this memory and gain this feeling again, the more not only you can guarantee that a certain amount of resources will be spent on this, but merchants can also hedge that a certain amount of resources will be spent on this as well. And again, live your life. I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm just giving you clarity on this whole left hand salute thing, right? So when I'm talking to his man, which is, I guess you could call him the henchman at this time, right? He sees my sincerity. And he knows the truth. He knows the real deal. He knows his man is lowballing me. They're playing, like, I guess you could call it good cop, bad cop, whatever. You get what I'm saying, though, right? And he's like, all right, look, I'm going to deal with you. I'll give you this much. And the offer is much more than what his man offered me. You know what I'm saying? And we negotiated for a while, and then we finally came to an agreement, right? And then, here the money starts coming out of the pockets and stuff like that. Now, mind you, it's fiat currency, which will probably lead to that part. I'm not going to emphasize it too much, but it'll lead to another video in the future, I'm pretty sure, about different types of currency. But it was fiat currency that the exchange was made in. I got it, and I left. And you know the story. You know the rest of the story. All right, so now I'm going to bring it to my dream, right? I had a dream about this celebrity. I've had many dreams about this particular celebrity, by the way. But this is the first dream I had of this celebrity. The celebrity is a Virgo, by the way. Just put that out there. And they arrive. All right, this is the scene. This is the setting, right? I'm in a parking lot, and inside of this parking lot, in the back of the parking lot, there's a hill. It's like a grassy hill, but it's not too high. It's like a molehill, and at the top of this molehill, there's a mattress there. It's like somebody just threw the mattress out the window. You know how the hood could be sometimes, right? So as this dream begins, I wake up. I'm sleeping on this mattress outside, and it's broad daylight out. So I get up and I'm walking down the hill. But I can't get down the hill because this celebrity is in front of me. And she's blocking me. She's going from one side to the other side. She might be about 2 to 3 feet in front of me. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, what's this girl's deal? You know what I'm saying? I don't talk to her, though. I don't say anything. And I can tell, like, she's trying to left hand salute me. Like, she's trying to lock her eye with my eye, but really it's her right eye, because for women, and I noticed this too, for women the moon is in their right eye. For men, it's inside of the left eye. So she's trying to match that. She's trying to lock that eye with me so we can lock moons, right? Again, seeing the dark, things that's not visible to light, hitting occult language and stuff like that. And I didn't let her because I couldn't really, her facial expression, I didn't really understand why she was there. Like, this is a peculiar woman to me. I couldn't put my finger on why she was there. I didn't know what she wanted, but she had this type of smirk on that wasn't, it just wasn't welcoming enough for me to lock with her like that. You know, so I kept looking at her with my right, and I'm trying to go around her. And then I looked to see where I was, and I realized that I was in a place where, and God bless his soul, right? I'm not trying to put my pops down or nothing, but when my moms would kick my pops out, he would sleep in the car inside of that parking lot. You know what I mean? And at the time, he had like her blue Camaro. I can't forget. You know what I'm saying? And he would sleep there. And it'd be on the same block that we lived on. So sometimes I'd walk up the block and I'd be like, yo, dude, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And he'd be like, yo, I ain't going home to your mother, this, that, and the third, right? So, but I know what happened and stuff. So I'd be like, oh, man, y'all are crazy. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, my mother was a Virgo, my biological mother. So, you know, I've connected some dots since then. But when this dream is taking place, this was years ago. I'm like, yo, what does this woman want? Like, what is she hinting at? What is she getting at? You know what I mean? And I would say not too long before that is when I learned left hand salute. So this is how it works in the dreams. Like, if you're in the dream, right, and you don't know exactly what's going on, but you're trying to figure out exactly what's going on, and there could be many players inside of the dream. There may be one or even two people, characters in the dream. You may not even know these people from Adam, but you'll get a hint from them, like a bodily gesture that hints, like a sign that says, okay, let's left hand salute. Like, you gotta lock these eyes in order to get the information that is needed. And when I first did this, it was like I was talking to a general inside of an army. He was decorated and everything. He was sitting in like a throne type chair. That's when the first time I did it. And after we did it, we shook hands. We shook right hands. You understand what I'm talking about? And that's how I knew to get further in dreams after it. Because sometimes, like, if you have a dream, right, and you get catapulted out of it, and you sense it in your soul that you was ejected too early. Like, there was something in there else that you needed to find out, or that you should have found out, but you just weren't worthy of it. You feel unworthy. You feel like, yo, why y'all kick me out like that? And it's because you're not ready. One of the reasons that you're not ready is because you don't prepare to astral project. And another reason is because you don't know how to left hand salute. That's what I call it. It might be called something else. That's what I coined it, so I could better understand it and remember it. You know what I'm saying? And no, as a matter of fact, that's what the general termed it inside of that dream. It was a left hand salute. And we agreed upon it. Like, I all of a sudden knew what a left hand salute too was, and it was too. And that was the first time I ever heard of it. You understand what I'm saying? So, but it worked. I was like, okay, yeah, left hand salute. So I carry that with me in my travels. You know what I mean? So even when I do my dream work and stuff like that, I know when a left hand salute is occurring. So now, since then, I've been able to stay inside of dreams longer. I've been able to wake up, go back into sleep, and get right back into the same dream. You understand what I'm talking about? Definitely enhance my astral projections. But I say that to say this: when you know the aspects, and this is how I'll be knowing too, like, I'll do studies on the aspects that are coming. If you get an ephemeris, you type in this word inside of Google, ephemeris. You can download your own ephemeris. It'll cost you nothing, and you can track the planets like that. All right. Now, what I do is I find out where the planets are beforehand. I measure them even afterwards. I might go a long time, and I'll track the aspects for how long they have an impact, and I'll upload them into my calendar. So this way, you know, like, you got events that pop up in your calendar that alert you, notifications and stuff like that, right? I'll take those alerts and I carry them with me in my everyday travels. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes aspects can last a certain amount of time, and I'll remember them, and I'll just be like, I'll wake up knowing, okay, well, this is like this is like that. I can expect this, I can expect that, you know. And so when I go out on my journeys, like when I entered that building, I'm entering the situation more in control because I'm aware. And when you're not aware, you ever left a situation and you're like, yo, that just didn't go too well. You know, that didn't go the way I want to. And then sometimes you might even want to go back and like tell somebody off after the thing is already done. Like, it's too late. It's done already. You know what I'm saying? Or you might want to go back and, you know, count your chains. Somebody sold you some chains or something. That's like walking in, and I get it. You can be reactionary when that happens. You know what I'm saying? And you just react instead of going in control. I get that. But when you're aware, when you have the knowledge, when you have the information, it makes things run much smoother, much simpler. Now, I could have expected this dude to pull a fast one like he did, because where the sun was and where Mars was. All right? And it was a square. So there's an obstacle there. And it can be that particular square causes it could be excessive energy exerted between that square. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like that's kind of why I got erratic. Now, mind you, I told you I did not enter there emotional. I went in there with a sound mind. However, I knew something like that might happen. But I felt very safe in my performance. You understand what I'm saying? And it's because, one, I know I'm fit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my vitality is at the level that I can actually speak the way that I spoke. You know what I mean? So don't ever forget that your sun, your vitality and your sun, part of that is expressing your likes and dislikes. Me, I want to take the optimistic approach all of the time. So I don't really like talking about things that upset me or rile me up. It's just a waste of time. I'd rather talk about the things that I like. And seen a Virgo not too long ago mention that too. Very key component of life, period. You know what I mean? However, there will possibly come times in your life when you have to express your vitality to get what you're worth. And that was one of those situations. Dude tried to lowball me way too much. And the result of that is a lower vitality, right? If you can't replenish your source energy, then something has to give. And then if you keep, you know, what you allow will continue, right? So then what do you think the next person is going to come along and be like, oh, yeah, let's offer him a lower price. He's not even going to negotiate or stand up for what he wants. You understand what I'm talking about? Or at least what he's worth. You know what I mean? So that just could not happen. But again, you know, say you didn't have if I didn't have that information, I could have possibly left out of there with the first offer, you know, and maybe thought about it on my way back home and been like, you know what? Nah, I'm going back over there. Nah, it's too late, dude. You were supposed to do it when you was there. But when you know this information beforehand and you walk into it like that, you tell yourself already, like, you know, they might try to lowball me to this, but I'm not leaving until I get this. You know what I'm saying? So preparation is key here. Preparation is key. So I probably didn't tell all of the secrets, but, you know, there's so many of them, especially in this type of situation. I hope that brings some type of clarity, though, to how you can walk into situations and know, you know, just and be confident and safe in what it is that you're experiencing. Like, when you do business, right, it's not like you're going to do a drug deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, a drug deal can go bad and everybody got pistols on them and, you know, everybody just wants to shoot. No, there's cameras everywhere in these types of deals that I'm making and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's bulletproof glasses and all types of wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I know there's only but so much we can do. Again, if you're a professional, you're supposed to carry out professional business. You're not supposed to be doing the type of stuff that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I can perform. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to lose your business over a disgruntled client based upon something that you did incorrectly? You know, you don't want that type of heat to your business. And I knew that. You know what I'm saying? So I played on that. Pretty much what I'm saying. But, of course, again, you got to expect that when you see those type of aspects, regardless of how easy the money can fall in my lap. You know, there's other planets that aspect each other that might cause some type of friction, and that was just one of those situations. All right, so hope that helps clarify things, and I'm out of here.